Hi and welcome back to the farmhouse. I am Deanne from Hummingbird Acres, and today we are out on our pool deck looking at our lavender tower. Now, if you can remember, last year we were given several lavender plants that we stuck in one of the garden beds to overwinter, and in the spring we planted the ones that lived in this tower. And I have been asking you guys for suggestions on what to do with it. We have been cutting it, we've been drying it, we've been adding some to some little mesh bags to put in the dryer to make our clothes smell lovely. So we are definitely loving having all of this lavender. But as you can see, as I turn this tower, we do have some holes. And instead of buying lavender plants from the store, we are going to propagate some lavender. To propagate lavender, we are going to take some cuttings from some of these bushier plants that are in this tower. So I'm going to cut. These are so small and tiny that I can propagate a lot of them in one cup at the same time. So I'm going to take several cuttings, maybe from this one as well. I'm cutting ones that don't have any flowers on them, and I'm also cutting the green stem instead of the hard woody stem that you see on some of these other plants. This one doesn't have any. Oh, in the back it has a lot of the hard woody stems. I'm cutting just the greens. I wish you guys could smell this while I'm cutting. It smells absolutely amazing. All right, I have a pretty big handful right here. Let's take this over to my potting bench and get it all set up to grow. Not only is lavender great to have around the house, but it is also great for pollinators, and in particular bees. As I've mentioned before, this is not our forever homestead, and when we get to our forever homestead, we want to have a very extensive and big pollinator garden, especially because one of the first animals we want to get is bees. So not only am I propagating this to use around our house, but I'm also propagating it for the pollinators. If you want to know more about pollinators and their benefits to us as humans, make sure you head on over to our website. We have some great articles over there. The boys filled up a pot for me with some potting soil, and I have all of my cuttings. So I am going to pull off the lower leaves. If you have cut flowers or you grow cut flowers, it is very similar when you harvest cut flowers. You just strip all of the lower leaves off. There we got it. Have it. I'm going to put all of these together. I'm going to count them as I put them together so I know how many I'm starting with. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Then I'm going to take my root hormone and I'm going to stick these in, swirl it around a couple times till they're coated. And then very gently, I am going to push these into our potting soil. Now, if you have a hard time pushing them into your potting soil, you can always use a stick or something to make a hole for you and then stick it in. I'm going to add a little bit of water to make sure that that soil is coming into contact with our cuttings, and it's going to drain out the bottom a little bit. This potting soil was moist when the boys put it in the cup for me. All right, now I'm going to get our makeshift greenhouse. We love using these Sterilite containers as greenhouses when we are propagating. They are almost clear, so it lets in just enough sunlight, and it also keeps in the humidity. So I'm going to add actually 2 cups of lavender. I'm going to add both of these in here and put the lid on. Then I am going to put this on the north side of our property up against the house where it will get indirect sunlight but not direct sunlight. You never want the sunlight to directly hit your plastic. I'm going to make sure that our lavender gets lots of indirect light but not direct light. I'm also going to monitor the humidity that builds up in this greenhouse, and if it does start to drop, I'm going to check the soil and make sure that it is nice and moist. In about 6 to 8 weeks, these should start to have little roots on them, and I will make sure that I do an update for you guys, so make sure that you hit subscribe and that notification bell so you can see that update. You can also head on over to Instagram to follow along on our homesteading adventures. Thanks so much for hanging out at the farmhouse today with us, and we will talk to you soon.